Hey everyone, this is Jose Baeza, and first and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time to learning more about how to improve your business, how to actually get some working capital for your business. So in today's world, business is always going to need are always going to need capital. So that's the main reason why I created this presentation to show you guys how we started with literally no money down and been able to get some real estate property on our end, but also how newly and seasoned real estate professionals looking to get an additional $50 to $250,000 in capital, they can do it within 14 business days or less. So the title is pretty simple: is learn how we raised over 6 figures in additional working capital for real estate investors without any prior lending experience or investments. So a little bit about me is that I've actually started the process myself through business partners, and you can get this funding without having any prior real estate experience, purchasing and holding properties, having a seasoned business, currently having any revenue or profit, and no funding experience whatsoever. So myself and my business partners, we went from being new real estate investors to living our dream and being able to help others do the same. Today, we hold multiple properties, multi-units, and we did it without our own money down. So we're going to show you a couple of things of what we did. But the harsh truth for funding businesses is that experimentation, hope, and determination will always be with the unknown and unexpected. You never really know what you're going to get until you go through the process. And going through the process can be very hurting, can hurt you on both on your business and also with your credit. So I'll go over that. So the process is pretty simple. You apply, they review, and make a decision. So when you don't control the outcomes, banks ultimately can kill your business before it even starts. And most businesses, like dinosaurs, just become extinct. So here's how the top 1% really are doing it. So when you don't need the money, banks typically will want to give you funding, right? So you hit a ceiling on how much money you can get. Neither the status of where the marketplace is with lending, how much current debt do you currently have, whether it be the fix and flips or fulfillment, employees, utility rents, etc. The list goes on and on and on. And how we get funding is that you get all of it without having to apply to random banks and creditors, reading tons of information on funding, without watching 2-hour webinars, or even spending time and money on funding options that don't last or work at all. So the hassle of being left in limbo, right? So our promise to ourselves was that if we ever crack the funding code, we will do whatever we can to help others do the same. And so we did. So it all started years ago when my business partners began adding properties to their portfolio while also building an even stronger portfolio on the business side. So I've been able to guide many entrepreneurs, many who have been able to receive over $100,000 in funding. Here's a couple of them. So we got Nick. I've been able to get them $99,000. And keep in mind, this is all within 14 business days. I know it says 21 days ago and the other one says 4 months ago. That's just when I took the screenshot just recently so I can add it to this webinar. So we got Sean. We raised $74,500 in business credit. Mark, we've raised $122,400. And then we got Gene, which we raised $87,000. And one of the things that my clients like to call me is they want to call me Jose Mr. Funds Baeza, and for good reason. So I've been able to raise over $250,000 per client over the last years that I've been in this business. So with that, I've been able to speak all over the world. I've been able to work with some of the top entrepreneurs in the country. And currently I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of training with celebrities, and we co-host some events as well. So the number one thing that investors tell me all the time is, Jose, I want to spend more time looking for deals rather than funding. Right? And everybody does. And I want to get something that's more affordable and dependable instead of just getting a loan, since there is a lot of moving pieces and I'm stuck. I want my freedom back. Pay off some debt ASAP without any penalty, and continue to build my portfolio without having having to go through lengthy processes every single time. So it's not just the money, but you have to buy your time back, and that's super important. See, the keys to funding success is that you need to stop trading time for money. You need to be able to scale, going from $40,000 to $80,000 to $100,000. And you need to be in a growing market, something that's gonna keep you going and that you don't have to worry about going under. So it has to be hungry for your services. Does that make sense? Right. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So this is a long-term secured funding, sustainable, we leverage your credit, and scalable. It actually can grow as much as you want throughout time without letting the funding basically letting the funding do the heavy lifting for you. It's based on relationships. So why would you want to have lines of credit? Here's the reason why. If we were to give you $100,000, then we can help you go through a long way on your business where you can pay contractors, home inspectors, surveys, appraisers, property taxes, and the list goes on and on and on. The other program is why term loans. Term loans, we can get you more money, even more money, which is in this case $200,000, and it can give you can use it for as the same as we used before. You can pay contractors, home inspectors, surveys. The main difference is that this is actually liquid cash that you get. So this is cash that you end up receiving instead of just credit. So you can also, in addition to doing these things, you can actually buy properties with this. You don't have to use it just for real estate. You can use it for anything that you choose. Okay? So the big elephant in the room is, in the lending industry, should I say, is that you cannot control the underwriting, the denials, which is the elephant in the room. Then you can't leverage the banks with the unlimited amounts of money given out every day. So if you're not searching for deals, you can't increase your monthly revenue in your business. You're barely breaking even, or even lowering the property price or value. So the margins are just going to be flat awful. Now, it is very difficult to have a scalable profit. Even if you have the best property in town with all the bells and whistles, your property becomes the town's best secret because it's just hurting and killing your business. Nobody knows about it. That's part of the marketing. So the big elephant in many industries is that most have issues making a margin or even a decent profit on their first property sale, right? Or even staying afloat. But the big secret is in the funding. And as there are tons of hot funding options right now with great interest rates you can use to grow your portfolio, you need to know how you can do it. Where are the lenders actually providing the funding? So here's another one of our clients. $75,000, $75,900, less than 14 business days. And here's $87,000. And as you can see, there's so many things that we can do for nonprofits. We can do it for real estate investors, mostly real estate investors, but the money can be given to you at any time. But real estate is one of those key industries that uses our services for a lot of these reasons that I'm giving you. So the qualifications and leveraging for your credit is that you do need to have a 720 personal credit score, no open bankruptcies or tax liens, less than 30% debt to credit ratio, and no more than 4 inquiries within that 1 year. You do need to have 2 years tax returns for the term loan only. Also, I should mention that the term loan actually has a much lower requirement for your credit. It requires a 650 credit score for the term loan, but everything else is for the credit lines. So we do the initial underwriting so you don't have to go through the banks and know what you will qualify. So we'll actually underwrite it before we even take you on as a client. That way you'll know exactly what to expect before going through the entire process, okay? There is always a funding alternative. See, if you don't qualify for these, if you don't meet these criteria and you don't qualify or you feel you don't qualify, there's always an option. There's always an option. In this case would be the personal lines of credit that can help your personal score go up. You can use a cosigner as well. And the cosigner does have to meet that criteria. So if you don't qualify, you can always use a cosigner. And also the credit building accelerator program, which we have. That's we take you through a process on how to build your credit to where it needs to be in order so that you can qualify for the program. So if you don't meet the criteria, or if you feel you don't meet the criteria, these are the three options that we can offer you to go ahead and get you funding. So personal credit lines to help your score go up. You can use a cosigner as well if you know somebody that can, would definitely be willing to loan you or coming as a partner to cosign, and the credit building accelerator program, which will help your score go up. Okay, you can start and get funding in days, not months. Again, these are days. Gene got $24,000 and $16,000 within a couple of days. You got here literally a couple of days. You start getting these funding sources. Okay, so here's $7,000 in just one application that we did. $10,000, $28,000, and this is all within days. We got $71,800 in for one of our clients. Again, Gene, we got $87,000. So there's a lot more funding success. And EFUNDING lines of credit program, you're going to definitely get the right amount for what you're looking for. So you want to find the right lender. So we have partnerships with over 50 different lenders. Someone who has done what you are trying to do for 7 years. We actually have a solid experience in funding investors, and we are learning what works today, not outdated methods. We do have a step-by-step guidance, so we'll guide you step by step. The moment that you approach us with wanting to know what you qualify, we'll take you step by step. For our lines of credit, we do offer a 0% interest guaranteed for 6 to 13 months. Okay, the credit lines only report to your business credit, not your personal. So that's super important. Also, if you partner with someone who has a proven track record of funding real estate investors, we do that. We have real estate ourselves, so we know exactly what it takes to get you funding. We went from $15 million a year to right now over $60 million every year in funding. These are just in credit lines alone, not counting term loans. And it's predictable funding with EFUNDING, like Clockwork. We match you with the right lenders that meet your criteria. You can work with any business. We can work with any business. So whether you're in real estate, you have a nonprofit, you have any other business, as long as it's a business, we can help you. And it is based on proven results. So we don't have any upfront fees. We charge a success-based fee of 10% after you get funding. And there's no hassle or obligation with the pre-approval process. We'll pre-approve you on how much money you can qualify so that you can decide on whether or not this is going to be worth it for you. And again, our lines of credit do come with a 0% interest guaranteed for at least 6 to 13 months. Now, in the real estate business world, I'm sure that you've noticed that the investors fall in one of two categories. You got the grinders, people who make some money sometimes, but no money most of the time, and who's spent way too much time making far too little. Then you got the rainmakers, people who are absolutely crushing it, making more and more money, building wealth, and spending less time doing it. Basically investing left and right. So after talking to hundreds of investors and being in this industry for years, I have realized that the rainmakers have two things present in their business, while the grinders only have one of the two, and most of the time none. Most investors are obsessed with finding the latest property and completely ignoring their system to obtain funding for that property. Now, remember, I told you that the rainmakers have two things in their business that the grinders don't and struggle bunnies don't. So, three things that you need for real estate success. You need funding. We can actually get you that pre-approval on the spot if we were to be at an event, and if you provide us with a copy of your credit report, we can actually get your pre-approval process within 24 hours. Number two, you need properties. So you need to use the right tools in JVs to research, buy, and flip. And number three is obviously you need to sell and flip or flip. So you only buy what you sell, right? So you pre-sell And in certain, if you're wholesaling or if you're keeping the property for rental purposes, then you want to keep deals just keep going on and on. So you don't have to pay any money to acquire funding upfront. Let's just get down to business here and show you exactly how you can get started with your funding today. Number one is that you do need funding, and these are the things that matter. Number two, you need properties. You need to research how do you get access to those hot deals. And also the selling and the flipping. You only want to buy what you sell. So you want to minimize the risk for your real estate business by only knowing what you qualify for in advance and getting you there. Okay, so let me ask you this. How many properties have you flipped, purchased, or sold in the last year? And if you didn't do many deals, then answer me this. What did you do in the last couple of months to try and generate more cash flow for your business? You see, in the real estate industry, it is very easy to get distracted by all of these new shiny objects, right? All these new RIAs, these new methods and strategies, but you have to stay focused. You need to get access to money so that you can invest. And the raw reality is that generating sales and fulfillment of your properties are only two things that matter. Again, the rainmakers are in the investing game. Keep crushing it while the herd falls behind. Here's another one of our clients, $99,000 that we were able to raise. It's startup friendly, step-by-step funding, done for you program. You get funding in less than 14 business days with no upfront fees. Here's one of my clients. Here's what my client has to say.
Hi, my name is Jean Genduza, and I am founder and CEO of Mobile Mediclaim. I just wanted to make a quick shout out to Jose to say he is awesome to work with. He has helped generate $87,000 in lines of credit that, frankly, I wouldn't be able to afford my software today without him and his team and his experience. So hats off to Jose. He can help your business grow, and you can certainly reach new heights with his assistance. Thank you.
So that's my client. That's Jean. She's amazing. And here's what one of my other clients, one of my celebrity clients, which I've raised over $3 million for his clients alone, just in the last couple of years.
You have something special. You have greatness within you. You know, in order to make it today, you can't do it by yourself. You need people that will be cooperative, that have integrity, and that will help you get to the next level. I'm where I am because of people like Jose. He's like my spiritual son. He has heart, he cares, and he will help you to live your dreams rather than your fears, help you to get the breakthroughs that you're working on right now, and help you go to that next level. You have something special. You've got greatness in you. And Jose, it's his specialty to bring it out. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So as you can see, I mean, there's so many different testimonials that I can bring up in here, but Les Brown's amazing. He's one of my top clients. He's just a great personality, great person to work with. But here's some more funding success. These are just a couple of deals from just recently that we are working on, and then we got some people. We have so many different people that we've worked with that definitely can acknowledge that we have been able to do an amazing job in raising money for them. And not everyone's in real estate, but as you can see, the funding goes way beyond real estate, but mainly for real estate based on the benefits that our funding provides. So some of our clients use our funding source for a fast profit. With those low interest rates, you can fix and flip an investment within months to avoid paying in interest. You get success in funding and not guessing. We follow the trends and demands of the market so you can get the best funding result. It's a win-win for everyone. And again, the pro listings is that you do get 0% interest rates for the first 6 to 13 months, no upfront fees, and it only reports to your business credit. It's very simple and easy to follow, and it eliminates the lag and the hassle, but that most face while looking for some funding alternatives. You can get approved today on the spot if you provide us with your credit report. And also the results of executing this correctly is that, again, you can get thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding within less than 14 business days. That's just amazing. So we will finally have that accelerator pedal that moves your investing needs forward when you need it the most. So stop wasting time and money cracking the funding code. You need to act today. Now, you must have the right team and systems to generate these results. That's just the way it is. So the hard way is that you can literally try and find 10,000 different loan combinations, or you can unlock the secrets to working with us and being able to have the code to gain access to all these funding alternatives that we have access to. Who else wants a predictable funding system that generates $50,000 up to $250,000 again within less than 14 business days? If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Warren Buffett, and he's worth $67 billion. So if it's good enough for Warren, then it should be good enough for you. There's so many things that we look at life and we're always trying to chase the money, but at the end, once we actually get access to it, it's going to be too late. We'll be in our old age and we won't be able to do much with the money. So you want to start as soon as possible. You want to get access to as much as possible, especially not having to risk your own money. Use other people's money, use the bank's money, and that's the way that we can do it. So it's your time. You want to purchase more properties, you want to fix more homes, flip more homes, reduce workload, scale your investments. You want to make money work for you. So my question is, are you next? Are you going to be the next success story that we can raise money for? We're here offering you money because we know that we can raise it. And we get three types of clients. The ones that want to move forward but need to work on your credit, are people that would like to start ASAP, and we can take them through our certified personal credit program because they don't qualify for under credit, or the people that can move forward with our business lines of credit or term loan programs. So if you're one of those three clients that are ready to move forward or at least get started on the process, definitely here's how the process works. So newbies and seasoned investors and everyone in between who's looking to create a reliable and consistent income, definitely you can apply for this. This is for people who know that they are good at what they do and believe that they can eliminate the real estate space, dominate the real estate space, and make a high 5-figure or even 7-figure income. Now, also for the people who love real estate above everything else and who want to move forward in their next deal right away. And they need to grow their team and scale more properties, okay? So also, people who understand the need that they need to have some sort of skin in the game. Who this is not for. People who don't understand how important it is to get funding and use other people's money. Okay, this is not a hobby, but a real business, so you need to be taking it serious. People who make excuses and complain. People who are stuck in the information gathering mode and are not prepared to take action and get results. So people who are not serious about growing the real estate business by another $10,000 or even $100,000 to your sales. So the better fit in the better results is that I'm looking for win-wins. This is a personal, custom-tailored one-on-one consultation with one of our elite underwriters and you. This is where we really begin working to figure out what you qualify for and how to make it happen in the fastest time possible. Number one is that I do need to get a copy of your credit report. So we need to get a copy of your credit report through www.creditchecktotal.com. So you want to go to this website at creditchecktotal.com and get your 3 credit bureau report. We don't like accepting other types of credit reports because sometimes they're not accurate, especially the free ones. So if you have a credit report that was recently pulled, as long as it's not one of those ones that are pretty much free, then we'll look at it, we'll consider it. But we do recommend creditchecktotal.com because of its accuracy and it's owned by Experian. Another thing is that eventually we will need your SS4 forms, your articles of incorporation, and then if you would like to see how much money you qualify for a term loan, we also do need your 2 years tax returns. Okay, so the most important ones is the credit check total credit report and the 2 years tax returns. So you can get your free gift through efundingexperts.com/free gift. This is going to give you an overview of what we just talked about, what we discussed. That way you can always take a look into what we have. And warning, this is time. This is a process where time is a factor, and the window of opportunity will not be open for long. Why do I say that? Because credit reports change every single month, and lending rates and deals are always for action takers. Keep in mind that everything's always changing. So God forbid something happens to you now, and you have to use your credit cards, then that's going to affect your credit report. That's going to affect your FICO score. If you decide to go out for a loan on a car, that's going to affect your FICO score. So this is very time sensitive. The moment that you take a look into this credit report, you have to send it back to me within 24 hours. Otherwise, it is a possibility that we might require a brand new one. So get started today. So Jose, can I get personal help from you or your team? Of course. That's what we're here for. I'm here to help you guys out. So you want to click on the link below to get pre-approved and see how much money we can qualify you for. Again, there is no way for you to lose on this. It's a win-win situation. And get started by clicking on the link below, seeing how much money we can qualify you. And I'll put in my contact information in case you need to reach me as well. And looking forward